Hi girls, I'm back. So here is the formula for any division point that divides two given interval. Oh, sorry, let me write it clearly. So if P divides A and B into the ratio of K to L. Here we go. Here's the thing. Normally in normal coordinates or any geometry, AB is exactly the same as BA. But in this very specific concept, AB it's not the same as BA. Because when we talk about the ratio division, this sentence actually means AP to BP equals to K to L. Now, here is the thing. Even though it's external division point, this still should hold true, except for some sign on the ratio. So therefore, this is true, whatever the starts. So if the question actually says P divides interval AB, so the first interval you should be considering is always AP, and the second interval is BP, which means from A to P, and then from P to B. Okay, if this is happening, then the x coordinates of P is given by, now how to remember this formula, even though it's also on the formula sheet, is K plus L, it's always at the bottom, which is the ratio, which is always a ratio. And however, the top is still K plus L, leaving some space for us to put the coordinates in. So in this case, how do we put coordinates in? We swap the order. So instead of putting x1 and x2, we just simply put x2, x1. And it happens the same in the y coordinates. So the bottom is still K plus L. And then we write K plus L at the top. And instead of putting y1, y2, we put y2, y1. Simple as that. So therefore, oops, sorry about that. Here is how to find the coordinates of the division point. Now we have a lot to talk about to this new concept. So the very first thing, let's do some easy example first. Let's say given points A, 1 and 3, and B, 6 and 28. Let's find the point P that divides the interval AB. Now please remember AB means AB, not BA, in the ratio 2 to 3. Now this question is a very standard type of division point question, and however you need to understand the meaning when it says P divides AB into 2 to 3. Now you don't have to draw this every time, but here is a very essential understanding. That means if I have A and P, A and B in here, that means P is at the point where this is 2A and this is 3A. Now, you girls know I am a maths nerd. I will not tolerate any inconsistency. So it's not actual length is 2, the actual length 3. I use 2A and 3A, just means the ratio is always 2 to 3. So that means AP to BP equals 2 to 3 in this particular case. And it's very important to know the fact. So how do we use the formula? So now let's start. x, the coordinates of P is, remember what I said, always has a ratio at the bottom first, and then you also write at the top. And when you put in the coordinates, now x1 is 1, x2 is 6. Instead of x1, x2, you put x2, x1. You just simply swap the order. And then in this case, that's 5. 12 plus 3, 15. So therefore that gives you 3. And the y coordinates of this P is same thing. So 2 plus 3, leaving some space. And instead of putting y1, y2, you put y2, y1. So the bottom is still 5. Okay, the top is 56 plus 9. 56 plus 9, 65. Therefore, 13. Is it? Yep. Okay, so therefore, point P, it's 3, 13. So do remember, here is very important understanding. And this is the calculation of finding the x and y coordinates of this division point. Let's have a look at another one. The point P, with the coordinates 6 and 13 divides the interval AB. Now I should be more specific internally, because if it's externally, it's another case. In the ratio 2 to 3 again. Now find the coordinates of A if B equals -9 and 25. Okay, so always think forward, never think backward. So the division point formula, given that xp should be 2 plus 3 and 2 plus 3 at the top as well. And do remember, it's dividing AB internally, so therefore your x1 should be the coordinates of A, and x2 should be the x coordinates of B. So therefore, instead of 1, 2, you do 2 and 1 x coordinates of A, which we don't know, obviously, but xp is given in this case. 6 equals to, that's -18 plus 3xa over 5. 30 equals to -18 plus 3xa. 3xa equals to, what's that, 12? Oh, just a joke. I was testing you. 48. X equals to 16. So the x coordinates of point A is 16. Same deal. Y coordinates of B should be equals to 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3, and we should have 25, and this is y coordinates of A. Same thing. So we would have 13 equals to, that's 50 plus 3y over 5, 65, sorry, equals to 50 plus 3y equals to 15, y equals to 5. So therefore, point A equals 16, 5. Okay, so here is some generic example about using the division points formula. And now here is the second case, which is a little bit more complicated. External division points. Now, by calculation of formula, we simply change in the formula, we change one of the ratio, my bad, one of the number in the ratio to negative. Okay, so that's simply what we do. However, secondly, the meaning of the division has changed in the diagram. Okay, so let's take a look what happened. I'll show you the example. The formula stays the same, but we only change the ratio to one of them to negative. Let me check. See. Oops, can't find it. Oh, still have 4 minutes. Oh, good. Okay, so let me write down the example first. Now let's find the point P which divides the interval AB. Remember, AB is not the same as BA. Externally in the ratio 2 to 5, where A equals -3 and -5, and B is 3 and 7. Now the most important thing is to understand what's happening, not just chucking in the formula. Chucking in the formula is always easy, but sometimes you'll be asked to analyze the situation as well. That is a major part of your understanding. So here is our point A and point B. Obviously, externally means P is outside of this interval. It's no longer in between. It's either to the left or to the right. When we look at this particular situation, do remember when we have the P dividing interval AB, the ratio always goes from AP to BP. It's exactly the same even though it's external division point. So therefore, AP to BP is still 2 to 5. You have to accept this. You have to accept this. So in this case, AP to PB is 2 to 5. Can P on be here? Not really, because if P is here, AP is actually longer than BP. There's no way you can get a ratio of 2 to 5. So in this case, your P is actually to the left of A, somewhere in here, because that's the only occasion you can have AP as 2 unit length and BP has 5 of that unit length, which is dividing externally to the ratio 2 to 5. So that's what's happening. That's why we have to make sure the order is always AB, or you know it's from B to A. If it's dividing externally, if dividing the interval externally with BA, so it's actually BA or BP, to AP is 2 to 5. So the order actually does matter in this case. Okay, we'll come back in the third video to solve this kind of question and show you more example about internal and external division points.